all good.
That's right. That's
What can I do
right.
you for today, sir?
Yeah. I was wondering, what's your system on rewarding or having to punish or get rid of cleaners who are contractors and other people, runners who are contractors that work for you?
Got it. So this is around personnel, internal controls, quality assurance. Totally get it, 100%. And
Yeah.
the way that I have found that works is to be very, very clear with the metrics on which you are gauging someone by, and being clear from the beginning about what that is. So let me give you an example of what I mean. I'll give
Okay.
you two or three examples. One that doesn't directly apply, but probably should, given the level of revenue that I happen to know that you're generating. My executive assistant, for example, I know what our revenue company wide is before we had an executive assistant. So to me, that means when he or she is present, that I should be able to see a significant difference in that revenue. Now, you say, but they're not sales or customer facing. That's true. Except what they are, they should be able to help me or our sales staff or whomever it is in your organization be more productive. And that productivity should show up in that way. Does that make sense? So when you
Yeah.
have a clear understanding of what you're judging individuals by, and it's communicated keywords, it makes it really easy for them to
Yeah.
perform, which also makes it easy for you to let them go. All right. So one of the things that
Right.
we do, so from a short-term rental perspective, or even closer, is there's a cleaning score that is given. There's a specific cleaning score for all of the reservations that come from Airbnb, and then on the other platforms, uh, vis-a-vis either the private comments or the reviews themselves, we have the
Yeah.
ability to gauge the quality of the cleaning in an objective manner, because it's not us saying it, it's what the guests are saying, and that's
Right.
really key.
Yeah.
Setting a minimum, like you wouldn't work for less than minimum wage today, because you know that your time, your effort, your skill sets are worth more. Same is true here. You should set a minimum for all of your personnel, so that and let them know what that minimum
Yeah.
is. Maybe it's a 4.7, 4.8, 4.9. I,
Yeah.
I don't really
Is yours
care.
is yours
Just set a number.
4.8?
What's that? The cleaning score, it's
Is
back up
is
there because we
Yeah,
had a
is your
problem.
median that you judge 4.8? I'm asking you, what do you set your minimum at? Because yeah, I also have I've got a system where every time an Airbnb or HomeAway or other review comes in, my VAs
Right.
log all of the scores into our own system,
Right. So
and then each contractor is given like a report card.
yeah, so it sounds like you're doing it fine, and you just got to set that minimum where that is. And again, it could be territorial, somewhat brand specific, because if you're running the higher end shop, I mean, you're probably going to say have that number be a 4.9, maybe 4.85 at the lowest. If you
Okay.
are running something maybe on the lower end, that's not to say they deserve less service or less clean places, but you might be more tolerant of a lower number. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Do you ever, if you get an individual review,
Okay.
let's say of that says that this clean was not good and this
Yep.
this place was not
Yep.
was dirty, do you ever um, take away a portion of the money that you were supposed to pay the contractor? Do you ever dock them, or
Yes.
do you
And
not
it's not
deal
a
with
portion,
that?
it's usually 100%.
Usually just pay them 100%, and then
No, no,
if
no,
they're
no.
bad enough,
It's
you just
not
get rid of
docking
them.
them. It's not docking them a portion. It's usually taking 100%. Because oftentimes in those cases, what has happened is that the guest has requested a refund or the cleaning fee, or maybe Airbnb is authorized. There's something going on where it has cost us money, that it was quote
I
unquote
see.
not our fault. Does that make sense?
Okay, so if there's a problem with the cleaning, you won't pay for that cleaning.
You got it. Well,
Is that
within
right?
reason. Some often we give them a chance to fix it, but it's usually in the cases where the get where it's like we something, the ball was just dropped really hard. And what we have to do is we have to figure out how to make it right. And part of making it right may be compensating the guest. And in this case, that's when it can really become something that affects them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've got to set all of these in advance in the contract that we have the vendors sign, the cleaners sign.
Sure.
And I'm going to take those tips and tricks and I'm going to put them in the contract so that everybody knows ahead of time.
Well, it's a good thing to put it in the contract, but putting it in the contract, my friend, is great. But I would rather hear you say, like I know inside our materials we have the dashboard. Inside that dashboard, we talk about having your stand-up or weekly meetings with your team. One of the things you should be doing is that, and on those meetings, that's when you begin to share with them, hey, congratulations, everybody. In the last 30 days, your score went up, 0.3 or 20 basis points or whatever. And this is awesome. Keeping it in front of them, having them sign a contract is one thing. Keeping it in front of them is what I'm really talking about. Does that make it? Do you understand?
Yeah, definitely. So you definitely do like monthly,
yes,
report cards with them.
Yes.
And
that's
the only thing I'm afraid of is just legally. I don't want to get into any trouble.
Of what?
I don't want with not paying. Because
totally
I'm in
understood.
California.
It's not like I just don't pay them. It's a conversation that we're having in the sense of, hey, here's what happened. How do you suggest we fix it? We have to compensate the guest. Here's what we're thinking. Is that okay? It's a two-way street. They understand what's going on, assuming that it cannot be fixed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and if they say
it's not a unilateral decision.
I think you should pay me anyways. You just pay them and then get rid of them at a later date.
If that's the kind of relationship that that's not a person who's thinking the way that they need to be thinking.
Okay, great.
Not for
that
my
helps a lot.
organization.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. If you like information like this, go ahead and hit that like button because that tells YouTube that more entrepreneurs see us, and definitely hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that the next time we publish more quality content like this, you can be a part. Thanks.